Breaking news! Mahogany left Ben at the sand dunes and he's super butthurt about it. Ben was recently arrested for drunk driving and a probation violation. My question for Ben is this what God intended for your life?
Well, you never know what God's gonna lead in your life.
What do you know? Turns out that Pastor Ben isn't that much of a godly man off camera. This right here is an exposed video on Ben Rathbun, the 52-year-old pastor from Michigan that uses religion as an excuse to pipe girls around the world that are his daughter's age.
What did he say?
And speaking of daughter's age, don't you guys find it strange that this guy has 4 children, but only 3 agreed to be on the show?
What's your name?
There's actually rumors flying around the internet right now that Ben embezzled funds from the church that he used to work at, which is why his daughter didn't agree to be on the show.
It was cringe, father.
Once again, at this point, these are just rumors, but much like Sherlock, Homer Simpson, I am going to solve this case. Ben Rathbun, the former pastor turned reality TV star, was arrested sometime Tuesday in Michigan for driving under the influence. This is Ben's mugshot right here, and he looks down bad to say the least. It looks like Ben had one too many Miller Lights by how he's barely keeping one eye open is what I would say, but it turns out that he has a lazy eye, and we can see that from numerous clips on the show. If you think about it, it's actually kind of fitting that Ben has a lazy eye and he's a pastor because his eyes got to make room for Jesus. I'm going to hell, for sure. Anyways, Ben's bond was set at $10,000 and it has been paid, so he is currently out of jail. Yay, Dad's home! Woo! We're all adults here, so I don't need to tell y'all how dangerous it is to drive while under the influence, but I do think that for someone that is going on the show and preaching the Bible to everybody and just shoving religion down our throats to where it literally feels like we're getting bukkakied by religion, it's very hypocritical that he's the one that got the DUI. Let me know what you guys think about this in the comments, but I feel like in this day and age, it is so ridiculous to me that people are still getting DUIs because we have Lyft and Uber. When I was in high school, we did not have that. I was usually the DD for all my friends. That's designated driver for the kiddos that. So because we have Uber and Lyft, a little hack that I found out that I'd like to share with Ben is you leave your car at the bar and you Uber home, and then you Uber in the morning and get your car, and then you're safe and you're not a liability to everybody else that's driving on the road.
Oh my God!
10K is a lot of money to lose, but thank God he didn't hit anyone. Call me Mr. Brightside because I'm looking at the positivity in the situation. Ben and Mahogany are easily the most infamous couple from this season of the show. They've been called out by many fans as a disingenuous couple for a lot of reasons. He doesn't speak Spanish with a Peruvian accent. She's lied to him like 7 times, and not to mention that Ben acts like Mr. Holier than thou Christian but doesn't practice what he preaches. Something I forgot to cover from my last video on this couple is the fact that Ben was trying to convince Mahogany that the relationship that he has with his ex-wife is a good relationship. When he talked about his wife in the beginning of the season, he made it quite clear that they do not have a good relationship and she still holds a lot of resentment towards him.
The relationship with my ex-wife is cold. I don't believe she's over the divorce, and she still has feelings of resentment towards me.
All I'm saying is this story has more holes in it than that movie Holes with Shia LaBeouf. I understand wanting to have the most ridiculous story to bring more eyes to the segment. However, the storyline has to make sense. The response of Ben and Mahogany to the fans' outrage about their segment has been funny to say the least. In fact, Ben actually did an interview with Entertainment Tonight where he answers a lot of your questions. Why don't we react to that together as a family? Time to smoky smoke and grab a bag of chips, and in the words of Hopper from Bug's Life, let's ride. Right away, the host asked a question that's on all of our minds, and that's that, was Ben recruited by TLC to be on the show? When asked this, Ben responds with, one of my fitness pictures got put in a magazine and I was approached by another show, not TLC. Benny boy, TLC is a channel, not a show. TLC actually stands for the Learning Channel. I think you would know that if you were on it, but you don't, so that's all right. We'll get there one day, kid. Ben goes on to say, show trying to recruit me was some random dating show, and I was like, no thanks, no good, you know, it's just, it just doesn't serve my purpose, and I got a reputation and kids, and yeah, I just said no to that one. For sure, bro, we can tell you care about your reputation and your kids by how you're prioritizing chasing an online relationship with a catfish over those same kids. You think the people that go on 90 Day Fiancé give a shit about their reputation and their kids?
My biggest concern is honestly just leaving us and just completely forgetting about us, because in previous relationships he has just kind of gotten disconnected from us when he's with this other person.
Ben goes on to say, after I refused the first show, I started getting serious in an online relationship and it's become real, and this is a perfect chance to share something with the entire world. So I emailed TLC. So this guy turned down the first show to go with the second show. This man right here really assumed that his relationship with Mahogany was something that the world needed to see. This dude's so delusional, I wouldn't be surprised if he thinks that his relationship with Mahogany is something that we should all aspire to have one day. He even said that to his kids.
What I would like to do with Mahogany is model what you kids would one day want to do with your future partners.
Next thing you know, the host asks another fan question, which is, Ben, are you just going on 90 Day Fiancé to promote your modeling and acting career? Ben replies that his acting career is just basically playing Tarzan at a community local theater with his children. Ben also says that he's hanging up his modeling career, and I'm assuming he's doing this because being cringe on reality TV pays more. My friend David Murphy told me that Big Ed makes bank on the show, so I think that Ben is trying to follow in Big Ed's footsteps. Side note, does anyone else find it odd that they casted the same people on the next season of Single Life? It just makes me not want to watch the show because I don't find them interesting when I've already seen it before. This whole interview is super try-hard, but let's keep reviewing it. Next question by the host is what Ben thinks about Mahogany's catfish photos and how she lied about her physical appearance to him off rip, and this is what Ben thinks about it. Ben says she's having fun with it. If she's a young girl, 20 years old, she finds an app that morphs your face, and we've done Snapchat filters. The difference is she just posted it. She never thought the entire world would look at that and judge her for it, so I don't have any problem with it. Okay, dude, but can't you understand that it's more suspicious that you don't care that someone you entered an online relationship lied about their physical appearance? She's a 20-year-old girl. I get it, dude. You used to be a youth pastor, now you're dating the youth. The problem is that you don't care about things that other people would obviously care about in a relationship. This other point he made, she didn't know that the world would judge her for it. Dude, you guys didn't know when you filmed the season a year ago that this would happen when you had your Instagrams? Like, what do you mean she didn't know that this would happen? Obviously, if you lie about your physical appearance on the internet, you're gonna get dragged for it. Ben goes on to say his classic line, I could tell that her photos were a little bit doctored, but I was just focused on our spiritual connection the entire time. Pretty sure it's mathematically impossible to have a spiritual connection with a catfish in another country you've never met in real life or video chatted with. Y'all gotta remember, these two just exchanged text messages for 3 months, and he's trying to paint the picture like they're Jack and Rose from the Titanic.
You love her?
Yes.
You're already there.
I'm already there. Or
From 3 months of texting.
Yes. My first marriage was a very artificial construct.
Next fan question for Ben is that Mahogany lied to him about her age and also the fact that she lived in this Airbnb. What does he think about that? Ben replies with, I went back through all the text messages, and when we started talking, she said she was 23. That's the only time it was brought up was in the beginning of our relationship. That's peculiar because if memory serves me right, on the show, Ben mentioned that he wished Mahogany a happy 24th birthday and she didn't correct him.
And when I was wishing her a happy 24th birthday, she never denied it. There was definitely more than a miscommunication on this one.
You guys see what I'm saying about the inconsistencies with their story? And to make matters more sus, he's doing an entire interview with Entertainment Tonight to try and defend everything. Ben goes on to say that he himself would tell his children, if you meet an older man online, change up your age and other information because you don't know if that person is going to be a stalker or a weirdo. So like you, Ben, because we could argue that you're a stalker and a weirdo by how she told you at the airport that her father didn't approve of you and she didn't want you to come, and you flew over to Peru still, waited for her at the airport, and then visited her in her town the next day and let her know that you were there and that you wanted to meet up, when she made it very clear that she didn't want you to come. Look, bud, I'm just being honest about it. From your text messages to your conversations where you're steering the conversation, it seems like a very one-sided relationship to me. Ben goes on to say, the house thing I understand. If you have a guy you want to impress and he's coming to your country, maybe you don't want to show him exactly where you live. Oh, there it is. The typical America is this utopia and everywhere else in the world is absolute trash. Yeah, maybe she's embarrassed of her humble abode that she lives in. I, for one, have an alternate theory, and that's that she didn't want you to know her real address because then you would just show up and not leave because you're the creepy stalker that you're talking about. Ben probably bug out and be like, I didn't stalk her. I just showed up to her house because God said in a dream that I need to show up and sing to her, to serenade her for our true love. Hallelujah. Shrek 2 is the best Shrek. I don't care what anyone says. That scene where they're singing I Need a Hero and there's giant gingerbread man that's laying siege to the castle. Epic. Side note, Ben might be withholding another marriage from us. Photos have surfaced with Ben and a woman that is not his current ex-wife that was shown on the show. I and a number of people find it odd that these two have an entire Facebook page dedicated to their relationship and she was omitted from the story. I mean, look how happy these two look together. It's so sad to see a breakup. I guess this wasn't God's plan for Ben. Instead, God's plan was going 52 and a 22. The next question is easily my favorite question. And that question is, would Ben be comfortable if his daughter was dating a 50-year-old man? Ben informs the audience that that's the #1 question he's asked on social media. Ben then tells the audience that off rip, he told Mahogany that if her father didn't agree to their relationship and didn't feel comfortable with it, he wouldn't pursue their relationship. I know, right? When he says this, I'm like, what? Because there's that scene of him in the airport where she told him that her father wasn't comfortable with him in their relationship, but he still boarded the plane and showed up in Peru. Wow, another inconsistency in the storyline. Who would have guessed? Benjamin, or Ben Hamid as you like to call yourself, if you want to keep doing these interviews and setting the record straight, be my guest. It just gives me more ammo for my videos on you. So I guess Entertainment Tonight and TLC formed some kind of alliance because they posted a clip of Ben and Mahogany talking that hasn't actually aired on the show yet. So let's review that together as a family.
I just want to know if we have a chance here. The love that you had for me on
Así que
text.
solo quiero saber si tenemos una oportunidad aquí.
I don't know, I'm really confused.
Yo, Ben's sweater's kind of swaggy, huh? Also, I'm so confused why he keeps using the translator when she speaks perfect English. I feel like I bring up this point in every video and I don't want to sound like Rain Man because I keep repeating it, but it is annoying that they keep doing this because I'll have to read the subtitles and then they'll just switch up to English.
Creo que no eres el Benjamin de chat. Eres diferente.
You don't think I'm the same Benjamin as in the chat?
Yeah. Tú no me dijiste antes de que no te llevabas bien con tu ex esposa. No me dijiste muchas cosas y ahora las conozco, entonces creo que eso es diferente.
He thinks Mahogany is trolling here. If anyone has acted differently since the talking stage, it's been her, because the minute this devout simp showed up over there in Peru, she's been very distant towards him, and if anything, she just seems like she's doing the most to end this relationship quickly so that she can go back to her life, which is understandable. Ben do be creepy sometimes.
Solo vine a dejarte la carta de mi padre porque él no ha podido asistir hoy. Yo de verdad no quería venir.
I only came to leave you the letter from my father, because he could not attend today. I did not want to come.
I only came to give you this letter from my daddy. Mahogany's like, yo, I do not want to be here, but anyway, thanks for the free trip to the dunes, Ben, and good luck with the whole, you know, God thing or whatever. In summary, Mahogany and Ben are both pathological liars, but thank God she trolled him because, let's be honest, this kid had it coming. Fast forward, their conversation ends with Ben being like, well, if you don't want to be here, then you can leave. And Mahogany's like, all right, peace. Literally just gets up and leaves. I don't think I'm alone in saying this is the most believable part in their entire segment when it's ending. I am not surprised in the slightest. GG's all around. I would love to know what happened with that $1,000 that he gave her, but it never got brought up once. Which is just rude, honestly. I go to bed every night and think about that. I have nightmares thinking, what did she spend the $1,000 on? Was it stocks? Was it outfits? Was it another dude? But since I started filming this video, a new episode recently aired of the show, which gives us more context about the Ben and Mahogany situation. Before Ben and Mahogany sat down to have the conversation that we just reviewed together as a family, it turns out that she got some good advice from her papa about her relationship with Benjamin. The next day, Ben tells the audience that he hasn't spoken with Mahogany since the day prior when he was all like, if you don't want to be here, you should just leave.
She just did not look comfortable. I could tell she didn't want to be there. And I was just like, just go, just go. I haven't heard from her since.
Next thing you know, Ben puts on his dumbass Curious George hat and goes over to Mahogany's room because they plan on carpooling back to San Bartolo.
And Zoom's going.
Zoom? Is that his Christian name? You know, I had a nickname. Bundles. Just, you know, one day in grade school, you bring a whole bunch of blankets with you to school because you're cold and kind of need some security, and then it just
Ben says to the audience that despite how awkward this car ride is going to be for 4 hours back to San Bartolo, it is necessary that they do this together so that they can work out a lot of the problems in their relationship.
There was something that she understood as a betrayal, so I'll apologize where I can, but yeah, I don't know if I did anything that wrong, you know?
Imagine throwing a little pissy fit when she doesn't respond to your 10 pages of text messages about another girl and another relationship. You miss breakfast with her and her parents, and then you say that you did nothing wrong. To be fair though, since his door touchdown in Peru, Mahogany has been looking for a way out of this relationship that paints her in the best light.
God placed her in my heart, and I don't know why, but he did.
When he says stuff like this, I just imagine God looking down and being like, bruh, do not bring me into this conversation. Satan's down here like, hey, God, come get your boy. Oh, so that's what she looks like without makeup and filters. I'm just kidding, guys. No, that's not her. This is Bruno Mars. He's actually down bad. I heard he had a gambling problem, but I didn't know it was this bad. I'm kidding, guys. I like Bruno Mars. Could you guys imagine Mahogany poked her head out and she sent this Wish version of Bruno? That would be so jokes.
Actually, is Mahogany here? A girl?
No, este es mi cuarto.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Yeah.
De acuerdo.
Lo siento, lo siento.
De acuerdo.
I'm actually really happy that Ben apologized here because I'm pretty sure this Wish version of Bruno was getting it on with the chica and he interrupted. Ben 10 finds the situation very weird, so he goes downstairs to check where his pen pal's car is and then realizes that she dipped. Forget the time he spent on this girl. All that money that could have went towards your children's college fund, right down the drain. Way to put your children first, Ben. So right now at this point in time, Ben is spazzing out, having a little mini panic attack. So he goes down to reception to ask the receptionist where Wood Girl went. When Ben finds out that Mahogany left him last night, this is what he says. Like, who does that? I can't believe she left. Take a mental recording of this. This is one of my favorite moments that happens often on the show, is that when dudes tell girls to leave and then they're surprised when they actually leave. Ben Hamin, you never once established that you guys were playing Simon Says, so I don't know why you're confused that she actually left. Because now Ben is stranded in the dunes, he asks how much a taxi would be back to San Bartolo, and the receptionist says that it would be around $250 American. Distance-wise, Ben is 4 hours from San Bartolo, and then he's 5 hours from Lima. He says that he can't believe this happened to him, and I'm just thinking, wow, bro, yeah, it's crazy. Maybe you shouldn't have asked her to leave.
It's incredibly immature. Like, she is definitely showing her age.
She's really showing her age here. That's rich to hear from a guy that's 52 years old with the emotional intelligence of a 5th grader.
So brain dead, literally dog water?
Here's an idea off the top of my head. Because Ben quotes the Bible a lot, I think that he should probably wander in the desert because it worked out really great for Moses. Ben goes on to say to the audience, I've risked a lot for this relationship. My reputation, finances, what my family thinks about me, because I thought Mahogany was someone I'm going to spend the rest of my life with, but at this point, I'm just starting to think I'm an idiot. Last thing I'm going to say for Ben is take accountability and do better. Don't put anybody's life in danger by drinking and driving. Take an Uber next time. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video. Comment below, subscribe. Let's be friends. Follow me on Twitch and on Instagram right now.